So we do this every Monday, and that is we hold ourselves accountable. So we have HardRight and HardLeft. We take what is the thing that I feel I was the most right about the prior week and the thing that I feel like I was the most wrong. Some good, some bad. Let's get into it. Starting with HardRight, because you have to start with why you're right. The Denver Broncos, and this is my pick of the week again. Now, everybody can say that they won. I've been right about this now all 3 times. I am 3 for 3 on betting the Broncos, and I am somebody who says do not bet on your own personal favorite sports team because your own bias is going to get in the way of it. And when you start putting money, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. But I was right on how they would come out in Seattle in what was a really hard environment. Bo Nix, first ever NFL game, playing Seattle, that defense on the road happens. Then I said, hey, but that was +6, and you would have pushed. The next one was Denver was 8-point dogs to the New York Jets. And I said, even before the weather came out, and before it became a shit show of a game because of the weather and the offensive play, I said, there's no world in which the Denver Broncos are 8 points worse than the New York Jets. That's right again. And then we go to Sunday, and we doubled down, and I said, look, the rate, it was -3. And I was like, perfect. Denver, 3 points, boom, take it. It's going to be a landslide. Denver goes down 10-0, scores 34 unanswered points. Raiders get a garbage time touchdown. Everything so far that I have said about the Broncos, Bo Nix, Sean Payton, I have been boom, 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 correct. Sean, it took about 1.5 years. He started, remember, this is different than any other organizational turnaround. And I want to stress that. And it's going to continue to look different as long as the Broncos have the wealthiest ownership group. As long as they have Walmart money, this turnaround and how this franchise is going to operate with its head coach, who they are paying a lot of money, and their general manager, who's trying to get another contract, this is going to be different than almost anybody else. This is going to be, hey, we're going to sign you, and this is going to be like the Eagles turbo. I said this to Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman and the Eagles will sign a player, and if that guy's not living up to his contract, they have no problem cutting him off, cutting the guy, releasing from the team, taking the salary cap hit for 1 year, and then moving forward. The Bengals can't do this because the Bengals, the ownership group, is just, they don't have the funds for it. If a guy doesn't work out, they basically have to hold on to him because they don't want to take the cap hit, and they don't have the actual funds to cash flow the team. I hate to say the correct way as someone who's not a billionaire, but the better way you prefer as a fan. So Sean has been bringing in his guys. Russ, all the money owed in the world. All we've heard is what a horrible contract. Now the second worst contract in history. According to a lot of people, only Deshaun Watson's is worse as far as NFL contracts go. And they said, hey, Russ, they brought in Sean, said, hey, let's try to make this work. Clear, it didn't work. Boom, get out of here. We'll eat the $40 million. Denver's going to have $76 million in cap space with the best corner in the league, no longer conversation. Several defenders playing like it's a contract year because it is. There's no first-round picks on this defense. All these guys are playing their ass off. An offensive line that Mike McGlinchey's got a big deal. Well, McGlinchey, who has not been there for the team's winning streak, and Alex Pajetsky, if I'm saying his name correctly, he has been. He has a chance to get paid. Bo Nix, who is not the most talented guy in the NFL. We are all aware. Bo Nix is not going to blow you away with just talent level alone. But with Sean Payton, these receivers, this running game, Javonte Williams getting back, again, Denver was -3, probably had, if not won, the second most impressive win of the weekend. And now they're about to go, and we're going to double down on this HardRight. Not only did I call the 3, if Denver does what I think they're going to do, this team that was 0-2, and everybody was willing to write off, and I was in the boat. I talked about when they went 0-2 because it looked so familiar to what they had been the last 9 years, and as someone who's watched way more games than he should have over these last 9 years of a what was at that point just a piss poor franchise and not well run operation, several different head coaches, all that. I went through that. After 2 weeks, I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to look the same. And I talked about it, and I said, are they about to become the Cleveland Browns, which is a franchise that, despite maybe a great player here or there, a Pat Surtain, a Joe Thomas, just can't actually get it right. And I was genuinely nervous. Were the Broncos about to just spiral? And ever since then, they're 3-0. Sean Payton, his offense is working with Bo Nix. And the defense with Vance Joseph, who deserves, that's the best defense in football. That is the best. It's hard, right? We are doubling down on how right we're about to be. The best defense in football, your rookie quarterback who's getting better, your head coach who is making his imprint on individual game plans and the overall roster. You just beat a division rival going 34 unanswered points. Like, everything right now, this is how you turn yourself around from being the dysfunctional shit show of a franchise that they've been for 9 years. And I'm not denying that they've been dysfunctional. I'm not denying that they haven't been good. I'm not denying that they haven't been the hardest watch in the NFL, considering they've had some good defenses, but the offense has been so unwatchable for so long that it makes you not even want to watch the games on Sunday. Guys are playing right now. Garrett Bowles has never had a winning season. Patrick Surtain has never had a winning season. Cortland Sutton has never had a winning season. Like, these are guys who have been there for years. You know what I wish was still there? Justin Simmons. You know what's crazy? The Broncos got rid of Justin Simmons. In my opinion, still one of the 2 to 3 best safeties in the National Football League. And some of the secondary is even better. Again, I said I've been right all 3 times on the Broncos picks. And the next 3 games, Panthers, Chargers, Saints, don't be surprised if this team is 6-2. A 6-2 team with a rookie quarterback? And then they're going to get their next big test. We're going to argue about this later. Their next big test is against the Baltimore Ravens, which, again, they might be 6-2 heading into that game. A 6-2 Denver Broncos. You know how long it's been since I've been able to say that? And, of course, when you're right, we're also wrong sometimes. And HardLeft for this week, I wave the white flag for Sam Darnold. And I think this is the perfect time to do it because this was probably Sam's worst game statistically, and he missed some throws. So this is the game that everybody else is going to come out here and say, oh, look, we were right about Sam Darnold. He's about to start regressing back to the means. He's about to start playing like Sam Darnold again. He is the guy that we saw the first 4 weeks. That's a mirage. It's an illusion. He's not really that guy, et cetera, et cetera. And I actually thought, you know what? This is proof that Sam has actually figured it out as a quarterback. He's not going to be, he's never going to be like the pinpoint accurate guy trying to throw 70% completion. That's just not who he is. He is the guy who still has, you can clearly see the arm talent that got him drafted to 3rd overall. You can see some of the athleticism that's still there. Like, you can see the raw physical skills that made Sam Darnold the number 3 overall draft pick. And now we have to add, he's winning games that he's really supposed to lose. Sam Darnold loses that game on Sunday. The previous versions of Sam Darnold, every chance he gets. It's not just about winning the games where you are more accurate than normal. It's not just about winning the games when Justin Jefferson is going crazy and has a clear mismatch, which is pretty much everybody. It's not just about winning the games when Kevin O'Connell can just write up the world's best offensive game plan. No. The games that Sam Darnold had on Sunday, his worst statistical game, missed several throws, and he still figured out the way to get it done. And I know that's a cliche, and I know no one really wants, especially as stat guys really started being such a huge influence. It's like, oh, well, that's a quarterback win thing, which is a myth. No, not losing the game, finding out a way to win the ugly game, that matters. I said this about Denver a few weeks ago. The game against New York was not pretty. But I've watched Denver over the last 9 years lose that game every chance they could. They lose the close calls. They lose the just not quite there. This year, they're winning those games. This year, Sam Darnold, he's winning those games. And again, this is the week to come out and kill him because he did not play that great. And Sauce Gardner's value, by the way, when talking about the PS2 Sauce stuff, took a real tank because we saw him versus Justin Jefferson, an elite receiver. And I'm not saying PS2 could shut down Jefferson, but I don't think it would look like that. But, so, HardRight, I've been right about the Broncos all 3 times this year. And I think I'm finally willing, and I am, for my HardLeft, I am willing to wave my white flag. I was wrong about Sam Darnold. And I think the Vikings, because here's the thing too, the Vikings, people are like, oh, well, if he regresses, we're going to see the reals. If Sam Darnold and the Vikings just play 500 football the remainder of the year, they've already played 5 games. They got 12 games left. They go 6-6. That's an 11-6 football team. Who had Sam Darnold winning 11 games in 2024? Even if you think he's going to come down from this statistical level, an 11-6 season with Sam Darnold? Yeah. I was wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong.